Hey everybody, before we get started, I just want to remind you that this episode is brought to you by our patrons, like Ahagao Comics and Mieru. If you like what we do and want to see us do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies, and it would really help us out. Thanks for your support, guys. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, this time once again to talk about Star Wars Legion by Fantasy Flight Games. Took a little bit longer than I expected, but hey, we have preview news on the Rebel Commandos. Also, I don't know if you guys who watch my Legion videos follow other stuff on the channel, I'm still a little bit sick. So, pardon me if I have to, breathe heavy or cough off camera or whatever, but I'm not so sick that I can't do a video. Alright. I don't think there's anything else to say, other than, hey, Rebel Commandos are cool. And check out other stuff we do on the channel if you want to know more about what's going on with us. So, I'll just jump right into it then. Okay, so let's talk Commandos. We're going to be doing this in two parts, basically, because there's two types of Commando cards. One of the joys of this unit type. So, the first one is the just plain Rebel Commandos card. These are a Special Forces unit. They have 4 minis normally in their normal form and cost 60 points. So it's a bit of an upgrade in terms of points. Let's see. What's the actual... Been a while since I checked. What's the exact cost of Rebel Infantry? Rebel Troopers is 40. Alright. That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure. So it's exactly 20 points more. Little costly, but still decent. And they have 1 health still, but they have 2 courage. So they're much harder... Well, not much harder, but they're harder to suppress. They also have both Surge to hit and Surge to block, and are Speed 2. They have a regular black unarmed die and the usual Rebel black attack die, because Rebels use hardy, reliable blasters, but their armor is not as good as Imperials. They have the keywords low profile when defending. If you have light cover, improve your cover by 1, so you can get heavy cover when you have light cover. They have Scout 2 after you deploy, do Speed 2 move, and they have Sharpshooter 1, reduce cover by 1. Really well-rounded. Scout 2 means they're mobile. You place them and then can scoot them out of the area. Low profile means any cover is basically heavy cover for them. Very advantageous. Sharpshooter reduces enemy cover. So they're accurate, they're hard to hit, and for upgrades they have heavy weapons. They have the training upgrade. By the way, that's what it is, it's training. They have comms, which is useful because of their mobility. They have gear, and they have grenades. So they have a lot of upgrade options on top of their high base costs, so you can really customize them, but at the same time, a little expensive. This one gets you 4 guys. With those surges and keywords, that could be worth it in itself, if you want to run basically heavy infantry. Do remember that you still need a minimum of 3 core units, and you can have up to 3 special forces? I think so. Yeah, there's not much else to say about Rebel Commandos in their base form. Just, you can kind of see what they got there going on. Let's jump into their second unit form. By the way, the unit, the expansion pack comes with enough minis to run both types of units in one pack, which is great. It's really neat. You can't double up on the heavy weapons, but I'm not sure you'd want to. We'll get into that a little when we talk about the heavy weapons. So the second unit card you can choose to run is the Rebel Commandos Strike Team version. This is only 16 points for 1 mini, but not really because it has the Heavy Weapon Team keyword, a new keyword which was explained. You must equip a heavy weapon upgrade card. That mini added by that card is your unit leader. So, really neat. This basically means you have to take a 2-man unit, you have to buy the heavy weapon cost, but it's a cheap discount way to get them on the field and make them the unit leader, so the heavy weapon will survive until the end. Very useful. Other than that, all the stats are exactly the same. They have the baseline blaster rifle, they have all the same keywords other than that, and they have the same upgrade slot options. Very useful if you want to build light mobile units, like, for instance, you might take long-range comms so you can receive orders anywhere, or some other options, and so on and so forth. We'll talk about that a little at the end when we talk about strategy, and so on. Let's move into the heavy weapon upgrades you can equip with this then. So the first of the heavy weapon upgrades available to Rebel Commandos is the DH-447 Sniper. So this is Rebel Commandos only. It's range 1 to 2 beyond. That means it can hit anywhere on the board, you can get line of sight too. It's a black and a white die, Rebel Commandos only. It has the high velocity keyword. This is a new keyword which was recently added to the rules reference, which is when attacking, if each weapon in your pool has high velocity, the defender cannot spend dodge tokens, and Pierce 1. While attacking, cancel up to 1 block result, and they're 28 points. So that's basically, not quite double the points. Yeah, but still, it's quite a point hike. They're like 12 points over the baseline cost. A little expensive. This is the more expensive option. We'll talk about the Proton Charge in a second. So basically what the DH Sniper gives you is, if nothing else, even if you add him to the regular unit team, which is 60 points, it'll eat into your cost a little, but you get another black and a white die, and it adds Pierce 1 to everything. Useful. I'm actually pretty glad this can be used at range 1, so you can double it up with, even if you're taking the weapons team, the strike team, you can double it up with the spotter, basically, the second guy, to just throw a few dice if they get in too close. And that'll add Pierce 1. keeping in mind they still keep Sharpshooter 1. And then with the Beyond range, you can basically hit anywhere on the board you can see, and if you're using just the sniper rifle, high velocity means they can't spend dodge tokens, they get their cover reduced by 1, and they block up to 1 hit result. Now, it's only a black and a white die, so even with Offensive Surge, it's not perfect, but it's definitely very reliable damage. You're probably going to get a lot of cases where you can get 1, maybe 2 damage through, and your opponent can't do much about it. Very useful for a sniper. I really like this design. Speaking of gear upgrades, this might be a really good use for grappling hooks with the weapons team, so you can scoot up onto roofs and hills, because remember, line of sight, very important to get some height up there. And they can still get some cover back. And in fact, if they even get light cover, they get heavy cover, so it's really great. Love the sniper. I love this style. I'm glad it's in. I really want to see what the Imperial version does, but we'll probably wait a while for that. Other than that, not much to talk about. Just, you know, the range is great. Give him something, like I said, like a long-range comlinks or even HQ uplink. You can have him camp in the back, take pot shots, you know. It's not an anti-armor weapon, we should say. As per usual, there seems to be an anti-infantry and an anti-armor weapon. The Proton Charge is definitely the thing closest to anti-armor. With Pierce 1 and your natural sharpshooter, you can take out probably speeder bikes with this, especially if you're doing high velocity and they can't get their fancy pants Veer's super special dodge token off. But yeah, no, you're not going to be scratching ATSTs or probably even ATRTs with this thing. Let's talk about the Proton Charge then, which is another very exciting upgrade. So the Proton Charge Saboteur. This is our slightly cheaper option at 26 points. Adds the Proton Saboteur mini. So we need to explain a little bit of these. A lot of these were added in the new rules reference update, which I didn't really talk about. It adds lots of cool things, covers a lot of these keywords. So basically, the yellow range die indicates an area weapon. That means that basically when the area attack goes off, every unit that is in line of sight and in that range gets a separate attack rolled. Area attacks use their own surge chart, which you can see. Hold on, sneeze. Sorry about that. Told you I was a little sick. And the line of sight is measured from the unit to the token, because it can be conditioned tokens or charged tokens. So the arm, this is an area attack, I should say, which is a red and 2 whites with a surge to crit. So that's 1 damage probably being done, and very likely, or at least the decent possibility of up to 3 damage with that surge, which is converted to crits, which means it can be used against armor. And some other stuff we'll talk about in a second. It has the Arm 1 Proton Charge keyword. So basically, Arm is an action. You can place 1 Proton Charge within range 1 and in line of sight of your unit leader. So you can't really, like, underhand softball throw these things, like, over cover or, like, over a tall wall, which is a little sad, but you can put them anywhere you can see, basically. Useful. So arming is an action. Now, detonate is the keyword that actually sets it off, and detonate's a bit like standby. Anytime any unit takes an action, if you have an armed charge token on the field, you can choose to detonate it just for free. That makes these huge area denial weapons. Anytime somebody comes into that range 1, after they complete the action, you can set it off. I believe this includes like mandatory moves and stuff. So, now do recall, they are area weapons, so you really don't want to be standing there after you arm it. But yeah, it's quite useful, I think. And then it has Blast and Impact 1. So, Blast means it ignores cover. This includes both natural cover and, most importantly, the cover 1 on speeder bikes, which is what I'm really thinking you're going to use these for. And it has Impact 1. So in addition to a natural hit to crit surge to crit conversion, it has an Impact 1 to a hit to crit conversion for armor. These are definitely your anti-armor options. They got a decent budget. You probably don't want to do this with a heavy weapons team because you're going to want some bullet sponges, and also it's not a very reliable attack. Your opponent could just choose to walk around them, or also take shots at you while you're running up to setup. So you probably want to use this with a regular team, probably why it's a couple points cheaper. Definitely has some uses, though. Very intriguing to see this. I hope to see more. And the Sonic Charges is going to be similar, but we don't, I think, know exactly what options it has. Really like it. Can't wait to try this sort of stuff out. These are the kinds of mechanics, the snipers and like the bombs and stuff, I really want in this game to like try stuff, be experimental, be more fun and interesting. And that about wraps this up. So we can see from the spread basically all the other cards, and we know because they told us it is, let's double check that spread. So we know they have Duck and Cover, which is a training upgrade. We know they have HQ Uplink, which is a comms upgrade. An HQ Uplink, basically you exhaust it, you can issue yourself an order in the command phase. Duck and Cover lets you take a suppression token when you're attacked, which increases your cover, remember? So these guys can basically be standing out in a field, pop Duck and Cover, and get in heavy cover And then they confirmed that the gear upgrade is emergency stims, which can be quite useful, I think, unit type to make sure they get where they need to go. There's this, there's Prune Face, there's the Moncal Commander, and all that stuff. Lots of fun stuff. To talk about, there's not much else there. We know all the contents. These are going to be coming out in not too distant future. Going to be great to expand especially. You got your various charge tokens and stuff in there. Though, like I said, I think you're probably not going to want... You can use emergency stims, especially in a larger unit, but if you're doing, like, smaller units for more mobility, I think environmental gear or grappling hooks to just move over stuff will be good. We'll see. Really interested in the unit. I really want to see how close the Imperial counterpart, the Scout Troop... yeah, that's about everything. So, I'll go ahead and let you guys go. Hopefully this video was still okay, despite my sickness. Turned out to actually be decently short. I guess that's because most of the upgrades are known quantities. So yeah, keep an eye out for future Legion news. I guess Boba or Scout Troopers will be the next preview, because I think they've been announced in the next set. But you never know. I have to double check when the actual release dates are. I don't think anything's been moved up to be sooner. But Han and Rebel Commandos should be coming out relatively soon. Hope to see those on tables. Be good to try them out. I really need to do more tabletop sim with the community. Anyway, speaking of the community, hey, if you like this video, give it a like. And if you have any comments, leave them in the comment section down below. You can also access our community Discord through that link in the description. It's really bumping in there. Have a great time talking about stuff. Maybe even set up some GTS games. Also, if you are new here and have not already, please consider subscribing. It's a great way to keep track of our content. Don't forget to hit the bell for notifications so you always know when we post a video. You can also keep track of our content by supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other stuff. And I always try and make sure to mention it. We do have a Teespring store. You can buy merch. That's a great way to support us with like a one-time purchase if you don't want to support us regularly, or can't. That's fine. And you just support stuff by viewing these videos. I'm a YouTube guy, and I love my community. That's not a joke. So that's everything I think for this episode. I will see you guys whenever Legion News is posted, and whenever X-Wing actually makes announcements that aren't just rehashing stuff we already know about from the conversion kits and whatnot. That kind of got hard to do news articles when everything was, like, discussed in, like, other people's YouTube videos and unboxings and stuff way before FFG gets to the articles. Anyway, X-Wing's an entirely different series. Entirely different kind of flying altogether. Anyway, hope you guys have fun, and, throw some proton charges for